In today's solo episode, I'll do a fun music review of 2024 and I'll show you how you can do the same thing too. Let's dive straight in. Hey B-Siders, thank you so much for joining me today. This is a little bit of a review episode and just sharing what's been happening, what's been going on, and sharing a really fun way you can also do a review and combining it with music, of course. Now, I don't want to keep you long. I know it's the end of the year when this episode will be live. We're all probably chilling out to some degree and relaxing. But that doesn't mean we don't look back on the year that has almost been. And many people, they do reviews and they ponder and they reflect on how their 2024 has panned out. And I'm no different. I'm definitely no different. But I want to do it in a little bit of a different way. And I want it to be fun too. So I came up with a 4-song review of 2024. I would say challenge. I'm challenging you to do that. But I want to go first and obviously show you how this 4-song mini challenge works. And along the way, I'm going to share with you guys what's been happening in my world, how that has sort of been with music in and out, and what to look forward to in 2025 as well. So this episode really is a reflection piece, and I hope you're going to stay along and listen to what I'm sharing, and then I would love for you to do that challenge as well. But let's start off. So there's going to be 4 songs that I've picked that will focus on a specific reflection piece of my year. I want to start off with the year that was. Now, hang on, backtrack. The year that I envisioned. Sorry, I've skipped a beat here. The year I envisioned. And this might be a step you not necessarily do because we always look back on what actually has happened. But I thought it would be fun to start with what you and I hoped 2024 would be. So it's about your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your job, your life, whatever it is. How did you think 2024 would have panned out? And then you pick a song that kind of represents that whole topic, that whole theme. And to be fairly honest, this was kind of the hardest song for me to pick. And yeah, it took me until literally half an hour before I started recording this episode that I've picked a song that I do feel reflects how I thought my year would have been. And the song I've picked is by a rock band called Hinder, and the song's called The Best Is Yet to Come. Why did I pick this one? Okay, I've picked it because about 12 months ago, we had to move. And when January hit, we obviously moved out, and I was hoping that this move would be a fresh start, like a new chapter in the book of life. I was hoping that it would give us a bit of an energy boost. I hoped and was almost certain that the change of scenery would be good for myself and everyone in my close circle, or the people that moved with me. And I had a mixture. I was feeling a bit down and out because it wasn't our choice to move. We were forced to move. And the whole lead up to it was pretty stressful because we were told before Christmas we had to move, like 2 months before Christmas. And finding a place before Christmas is always a bit stressful, as many of you probably can relate to. And then planning a move, packing over Christmas, well, it wasn't, so I was really literally ready to start afresh. I was hoping it would be a change for the good. I was trying to think it's going to be so positive. And I was looking forward to the experience. I thought, you know what, maybe it's time we actually get out of the rut and break certain cycles we were in. And hence, the best is yet to come. I really thought, yes, everything's gonna be great. Yeah, we're gonna be tired, the move and everything, fair enough. Other things that came with it that were a little bit difficult, but overall, I was feeling pretty positive. Which then leads me into the second song of this challenge. And that then is being realistic, being honest, and not wishy-washy over and trying to make things better or worse than they are. And that is actually the year that was. So we're looking at, or I'm looking at it, how was the year really? How did it pan out? Not my hopes, how I envisioned it, but what did actually happen in 2024? And I'll give you a bit of a hint by the song that I've picked. And I know I've picked this song before, and it's one of the songs that I do feel represents so much, and it's Linkin Park Numb. And I think just the song title will give you a very good idea of how my year actually panned out for a majority of it. Okay, I'm taking a break here. I haven't said anything because I'm really trying to find the right words to describe how I would say 10 to 11 month of 2024 were for me. And numb really is probably one of the closest words to describe it. It was a year of learning and experiencing so much darkness, so much personal depth you can fall into. I have experienced emotions I've never ever in my life experienced. I do not remember feeling like this ever. It has pushed me to new depths. The best thing I can probably describe it is if you fall into a pond of water and the further you fall down, the darker it gets. This is how it felt for me for the majority of 2024. I know I've talked about it before in previous episodes about me having, bouts of slight depressions and really struggling. I know about a year or so ago I've talked about that before, and I thought that was all there is. I've experienced it now. It's not going to happen like this again. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. This has been the worst darkness I've ever experienced in my life. It wasn't necessarily depression. I wouldn't call it that. But I think emotionally, I was shut down to a degree I've never experienced. I have never in my life heard these dark voices of, I am inadequate, I'm a failure, why are you still here? Why do you try? You're not good enough. It's just, and then all the negative emotions, pain, anger, resentment, it literally washed over me like a massive, massive, massive waterfall. And I have to put a side note here. This is all due to certain dynamics in my life that unfortunately I personally don't have much of an impact. I don't have much of a choice, although we always have choices, and I know that is true. I can vouch for that. Choices are always there. However, sometimes as humans, we are pushed to certain extremes that can be good and not so good, and we break. We break. It's as simple as that. And don't tell me that this is not true, that this cannot happen, and that we're weak. It has nothing to do with that. Sometimes the circumstances just push us there, and we can do as much as we want to do. It's not enough, and it's not helping us get out of that situation. So that for me was the main part of 2024. It was quite dark. It was quite scary. I've seen myself at points in my life which were scary for myself, and I am forever grateful for the people that I've had around me to kind of catch me, to listen to me and to help me out. I'm getting a bit emotional because it was scary. So that generally was my year. That was, I would say, about 10 and a half months of my year were like that. There were obviously glimmers of hope. I'm not denying that. There were positives, of course, but overall, that's how it felt for me. Anyway, now let's move on to the third song. And this is a really interesting one. This is about the lesson that I've learned this year. And I've picked a song by Jin from BTS, and the song's called Abyss. And if you don't know this song, it does talk a lot about, abyss, you can tell, water again. It does talk about mental health issues. It does talk about struggling, but also clinging on to hope that better days will come. And what I've learned is up until probably about the beginning of November is that I knew I was strong and resilient already. I knew I was like that. I knew I could find inner strength, and I was a very strong person, and I can do a lot of things that I didn't think I could do. But it just pushed this knowledge to a much higher level. I've seen myself at my worst, at my absolute worst. I've heard all the dark, evil voices. I've felt them, and I've seen them. But because I'm resilient, because I'm strong, because I'm positive at my core, I made it through. And I'm still here, and I'm still smiling, and things are looking up, up, up. And I realized that everything I've been through has given me a chance to grow as a person. It hasn't given me an opportunity to look at myself even more. And to realize that what I think of myself, what I believe about myself is my job. I cannot let external people, situations, whatever else there is, define my worth. I can't let that get to me so badly. And if you an introvert or an empath, you know full well and very well that we absorb energy from other people. We take that on board and we give it. We're people pleasers. And if we do not learn to set boundaries, to say no, and to realize who we are, what we need, what our strength is, and where we might need to where we're not so strong, then that can be a downfall. And this is what's happened, I believe, to me this year. I gave too much. I gave way more than I ever anticipated. And I wouldn't say feedback, but what I received back was, I don't want to use the term hell, but it certainly felt like this at times. So my lesson learned is my worth, my opinion about myself does not depend on what other people think of me, especially if other people around me, others' energies want me to believe that, if they think they know better. It's been an emotional journey. It's been trying, it's been devastating. However, I have found my voice again. I have found a new sense of happiness. I have found ways that I never thought I could smile through tough times. I can feel lighter, even though things are not better in some areas of my life. And again, I truly believe that I also learned that it's not my job to go above and beyond to help, and I use the term fix very loosely here, because there's no one needs fixing. Then it's just work you got to do on yourself. It's not my job to do that. I can support, but it's not my job to try to do that. So now in November, and obviously up until I'm recording this episode, what has changed? It's everything I've learned up until October, I've taken, and I've become so much stronger and happier. Even, and my intention really is to stay like this and to not ever, 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 ever go back to this place that I've come from. So I've really learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, that I am so worthy, that I can do things even when things are tough. I can still smile and be happy even if my surroundings are not like that. I have a right to laugh. I have a right to be happy if that's what I want to feel. And when I started to recognize that, I want to add that also, things started to shift in a very positive way for me personally. So whilst there's still a lot of things that are not ideal at my end, and that's life. Nothing is ever 100% ideal, but just having that inner core knowledge of where I've been, where I've come from, and that I got out of it, and I'm doing okay. I'm actually doing fine. That sets the tone for my way forward, from here on onwards. And that brings me to the last song. And I just heard this song not so long ago for the first time, and ever since I've heard it, I can't get it out of my head. And it's called "Home Sweet Home" by G-Dragon, who's a K-pop idol. And he's from what I've read up, I've educated myself just a little bit about him. Apparently, he's gone through some tough times himself, and he's one of I think it's first or second generation idol. I hope that's okay. If I'm wrong, please correct me on that one. But having that song, and that's sort of my intention song for the first 6 months of 2025. So I'm thankful I've get my little downloads again, as I call them, my song downloads, and I've been given a message that this song is really literally for the first 6 months, not the whole 12 months. So this is my intention song. And what does this actually mean now? Okay, so it means that I'm finding my home sweet home again. I'm finding me. I'm finding where I want to be, where I belong. And that I reconnect to so much of me that I've lost with this darkness, with these dark phases that I've been through. And I feel so lighter, I have to say. And to what's the word I'm trying to say or look for here? Bear with me. I'm looking to build a happy, positive foundation in 2025, to reconnect to what it means, what my home is. And I'm not just meaning this by where I live, but also who I am, because this body is my home in this lifetime. And what do I need to do to make it a really happy place to be? And also that means to me, I want to reconnect with some humans that I've might have put to the side during this time. I want to reconnect to so many things that I've left on the sidelines almost, because I just had to, because life demanded that of me. I had to focus on certain things and had to put other things aside. And it just feels like I'm being called on to reconnect and find that home again in my life. And this song really captures that whole essence perfectly. It's the music itself. It's very upbeat. It's very playful. And the lyrics really also say, I remember one line where he says, hang on, what was it now? I said I will be back and I wouldn't let you go. And I find that is so beautiful in the meaning. Like, I said that to myself, of course, but also to the people that I cherish and that mean a lot to me. And I have to say, my circle of those people has risen in the last month and a half. I've met some incredible humans along the way, and I'm very grateful that they've entered my life, because they've given me much more positivity and strength to look at 2025 through really positive, these ones, eyes and glasses. That, I just really feel 2025 is going to be a great year for me personally, and this song captures that really beautifully. Now, I actually wanted this episode to be a rather short one, but I think it has gone a bit longer than anticipated, but that's okay. I think everything I wanted to say has come out as it should. Now it's over to you, B-siders. Please do this challenge as well. And I'm just going to go over my notes again, so I'm not saying the wrong things. Okay, so there's 4 songs to do a little bit of a fun reflection. The first song should capture the year that you envisioned, what you've hoped your 2024 would be like, and then ponder on that and why you've picked that song. The second song is the year that was. So that's looking at it from a realistic and factual perspective. What has happened and how did I respond? How did I feel? What impact did it have on me? And how did it change me? What did, like, things like that. So you're really looking at it. This has happened. Which song would match that theme? And then what lessons have I learned? And then pick a song that kind of embraces that and think about it. You don't have to journal. I know a lot of people don't like journaling a lot these days, which is a shame because writing is always great, but just think about it. Take 10-15 minutes and think about what lessons have you learned in 2024. And then the last one is, what are your intentions for 2025? Pick a song that kind of captures that. It can be the lyrics, it can be the music, whichever fits the most, pick that. And once you've done that, then please, please, please share it with me. You can find me on social media, you can message me, or you can join my Facebook group as well, where you can share what you've come up with. Either way, I really would love for you to do this little mini challenge. It won't take long, and hopefully you can then start into 2025 with clarity and confidence, and hopefully a lot more positivity. I know a lot of people might not feel so positive, but I'm here to spread the good B-side vibes, so here I am. Okay, that's all I want to share with you. I'm very excited for my next episode coming up. I can't tell you too much about it, but it's not going to be me solo. It will be a guest episode, but that's all I'm going to share with you guys for now. So please stay tuned. I will be back with you very, very, very soon. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, I'm sending you so much music and love. You all please take care, and I'll be back with you guys very soon. For now, take care. Bye bye.